What's up, you guys? I'm Chibi Joe, and I'm here with another comic book review. And this time we're on Absolute Batman issue number 3. And unsurprisingly, this one starts with another flashback. This one is of Selina Kyle and Bruce now going from rooftop to rooftop. Bruce wants his medal back. Selina says, "You're the one who threw it out, so if you want it, you gotta follow me." So they're talking, and Bruce is like, "I don't want to talk about anything." She says, "Well, I'm here. Like, as long as you stick with me, everything is going to be okay. I promise." Bruce almost falls, but she catches him and pulls him over onto the ledge and on top of another building. He has been removed from another foster home, and Bruce offers, "Well, how about you just stay with us? My mom loves you. Like, she would have no issue with you staying with us." And she says, "Bruce, let's just drop it. Just enjoy the night together." So now we're back into just absolute chaos in present day. And again, Alfred says, "I think I hate this man with everything I have," as they're barreling through the city. He's like, "You can't drive through the city." He said, "Speak for yourself." And so now they're being shot at by party animals, and they're being chased by the police. And he's like, "We can't just barrel through the city." He said, "Well, then you better talk fast." And so then he's like, "Listen, I don't think you realize how big Black Mask is. Like, Black Mask has an infinite amount of resources, and I think he's the one running the party animals. So if you're going to go after the party animals, you're going after Black Mask. And if you're going after Black Mask, you don't have the time or the resources that he does to beat him." Batman's like, "What do you suggest?" He said, "He wants to talk, right? Take the deal. Doesn't matter what it is. Take the deal. I'm here investigating the party animals and investigating him. I promise you, at some point, I will be able to get him. But please, you have to stand down. They are going to destroy your city if you do not stand down." And he asks about Arc M, which is one of the things that he found on the computer. He says, "I don't know. I'll look into it, but you gotta stand down." So he's like, "Man, we need something faster." And Batman turns it into the Batmobile. He flicks a switch, and this whole machine changes into the Batmobile. "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" Because they're coming up on the dock. He ejects Alfred out, and the car dives into the water. And it's just so good. It's just such a fun sequence, and so fun. So then we go back to the flashback with Selina and Bruce. And they're basically sneaking into this movie theater. And Bruce looks at her and goes, "What are you doing?" She said, "You need to see this." And you see Zorro appear. You get the backstory that this was the movie where his parents met. And that this was the movie that his dad was supposed to take him after the zoo trip. So then we hear questions. And we're now in Edward Nygma's lab. And he's like, "This AI holds," and then he is gesturing towards this robot. "This AI has all of human knowledge. Well, almost all. And he can answer any questions you have, Bruce." And so Bruce asks him, "Is there a way to stop the network?" And so, "No, there's not. This network is connected way too deep and connected to a satellite. And essentially what's going on is there's a thing called the Black Coin, which is Black Mask's currency. And essentially, if you complete these tasks of priority, you get X amount of money." And that's how he's motivating the party animals. He's essentially created civilians into mercenaries for his own socio-anarchic destruction. Bruce says, "Is there any way to stop it?" And says, "No, there has to be. There is not." So Bruce is not happy with that. So at some point, Bruce asked Harvey Dent about Arc M. And he finds out there's these black sites, and they're huge prisons. Prisons are funded by pharmaceutical companies, by bioengineering companies, genetic companies. And again, it's another layer to what Alfred had told Bruce, that rather told Batman, that Black Mask has infinite resources. So now we go to Black Mask's ship. Bullock is there, and he meets up with Mayor Hill, who is the former mayor of Gotham. And they meet up with Black Mask, who is currently wrestling a former fighting champion, Bibbo Babowski. And Bullock was a huge fan. And Black Mask breaks his arm, breaks his leg, and then almost kills him. And Bullock has to beg him to stop, all while Black Mask is trying to talk to him about why his way of protecting things is important, and that Mayor Hill is being funded by Black Mask and therefore can protect better than Jim Gordon ever could, and that Jim Gordon is by no means incompetent, and that no one is saying he's a bad man, but he doesn't have the funding or the ability that Black Mask does, that Mayor Hill has. And all he has to do is support Mayor Hill, and everything goes away. Bullock has to side with Mayor Hill. There's no way. And Bullock pretty much knows, it doesn't flat out say, but he pretty much has an idea that the party animal is being ran by this guy. There's no way around it. We go outside, and Bruce is walking up a hill, and it's narrated by Alfred again. And Alfred says the first arc, Arc A, is at Santa Prisca, which is a reference to that's where Bane is from. The next one's in Russia, and Arc C is in China. And Bruce has a camera, and he's looking through the camera at Gotham City from like this top of this hill. And he said, and Arc M is going to be Gotham. That is what you're fighting, Bruce. You can't protect anyone. The next time we see Bruce is in his mom's house, and they're talking, and she's like, well, I'm going to be Jim Gordon's new vice mayor because the last one stepped down. And Bruce is like, they're killing it. Officials, why are you wanting to do this? She's like, because I'm not scared of them. Your father wouldn't be scared of them. And he hits a hard note and says, yeah, and look where he's at. I don't want you there. And she says, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. I love you. Clean up after you're done. And he says, I love you too. And again, the narration is, you can't protect them. There's only one way. It goes to Alfred, and Alfred is in a van, and he sees his daughter. She's also a teacher, and before she could notice him, he drives off. Mayor Hill does a nice little press conference saying, this is the time for Gotham to unite, and tomorrow marks the anniversary of one of Gotham's biggest tragedies, the Gotham Zoo shooting. And we should memorialize it and not sour it with politics and all of that. And the news anchor's like, well, with all the party animals' actions on the rise, how will Batman respond? And then it goes to a phone call. And in this phone call, it is Bruce Wayne and Black Mask talking. And Black Mask says, $200 million. Think about the good that Batman can do with that kind of money. And he just keeps trying to sweet up Batman. He just says, enough. I'll take the deal. In hopes that peace will come about. At least temporarily. And that was issue number 3 of The Absolute Batman. That's all we have so far. I'm looking forward to issue number 4. You guys will hear about my review once I'm able to read it. So, I'll see you guys next time. Have an awesome day and a good night.